1, 2, 3. Hello everyone. Welcome to my commercial photography class. The concept we are tackling today is called the lighting ratio. In the demo we just did, I photographed the model. To achieve a 1-to-1 lighting ratio, at that moment the model's face looked bright and even. Her jumps conveyed joy, all accompanied by upbeat music. So the whole shoot stayed relaxed and lively. Today's content hinges on one fundamental parameter, the most basic of all, aperture. What exactly is aperture? It is the physical diameter of the iris diaphragm inside the lens. Its key function is to regulate the brightness of the light reaching the sensor. Creating an image is, in essence, the act of adjusting light and shadow across the frame. Before we dive into ratios, let's review the f-number scale. At first glance, the sequence appears irregular. Yet it lists full-stop increments f5.6, f8, f11, f16, f22, and so on. These numbers decisively control exposure. Smaller f-numbers admit less light. Larger f-numbers admit more, a convention we will now exploit. Enter the lighting ratio. What is a lighting ratio? It is the quantitative comparison between the illuminance on the bright side and that on the dark side of the subject. We express it as 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 4-to-1, 8-to-1, etc., each step doubling the brightness difference. Different ratios produce different moods. Put simply, the ratio tells us how much lighter or darker one side should be. Formally, it is defined by those numeric ratios. Understanding ratios lets photographers read light and predict contrast. The feel of a ratio is the gradation between highlight and shadow. Watch the model's face as I dim the modeling lamp. With multiple sources, each lamp creates its own zone of brightness. We quantify that difference with the lighting ratio. Experienced photographers can estimate ratios by eye. Client briefs often specify desired ratios in pre-production notes. Those notes state exactly how much contrast the final image must contain. In other words, the script dictates the lighting ratio. Accurate ratio control equals accurate delivery of the client's vision. Hence, knowing ratios is a fast track to professional work. It accelerates the journey from novice to pro. How does aperture relate to ratio? Each doubling of the ratio corresponds to a one-stop change in illuminance. That change is measured in full f-stops. Repeating the scale f5.6, f8, f11, f16, f22 gives us the steps we need. Our earlier demo kept left and right lights identical, yielding 1-to-1. The resulting photo shows perfectly even illumination across her face. A 1-to-1 ratio therefore means no visible shadow side falloff. Equal f-number readings on both sides produce this effect. Let us now create other ratios. Next, a 2-to-1 look. We will produce a 2-to-1 lighting ratio. Now the highlight and shadow sides will differ by one full stop. A 2-to-1 ratio equals a one-stop difference. We will use a light meter to verify that difference. Proper metering technique is critical. Place the meter near the subject's cheek, aimed at the light source being measured. When several lights are on, spill light can contaminate the reading. Shield the cell with your hand to block extraneous light like this. First reading taken. Now the opposite side. Left side, f11. Right side, f8, exactly one stop apart. Therefore, we have achieved a 2-to-1 ratio. Let us examine the frame. Turn a little perfect 1, 2, 3. In the selected frame, one side is subtly darker. This mild contrast is the signature of a 2-to-1 ratio. Next, a more dramatic ratio, 8-to-1. We will now build an 8-to-1 lighting ratio. 8-to-1 requires a 3-stop difference. Metering proceeds as before. Again, we shield the cell from spill light. Left, f22. Right, f8, 3 stops apart. Let us check the result. Lift the hand, drop 1, 2, 3 eyes to camera. The 8-to-1 frame shows noticeably deeper shadows. Yet shadow detail remains visible. This is the look of an 8-to-1 ratio. Finally, an extreme 16-to-1 ratio. 16:1 is rarely used because the contrast is so severe. Handle with care for stops of difference. We need a 4-stop spread. Metering again. f5.6 versus f22 4 stops. Hence, 16:1. To achieve it, I flag the key with black velvet to absorb spill. Now the frame. Turn hands up. Look here. Frown 1, 2, 3. At 16:1, half the face falls into near black. Extreme highlight to shadow contrast defines the 16:1 look. Although rarely needed, it offers maximum drama. It reveals the full sweep from light to dark. By stepping through 2:1, 8:1, and 16:1, we obtain distinct visual styles. Mastering lighting ratios is therefore the path to professional command of light.